Module 1. Internet Foundations. How your browser finds a website.
When you type a website URL into your browser, something extraordinary happens in a fraction of a second. Your request travels across continents, triggers code, fetches data, and returns a complete web page, all before you can blink. But how does this invisible journey take place?
DNS, the Internet's phone book.
Each device connected to the Internet has a unique IP address, which other machines use to find the device. The Domain Name System, or DNS, is the phone book of the Internet. DNS servers eliminate the need for humans to memorize IP addresses, such as 192.168.1.1. When you type a URL, your browser does not magically know where that website lives. It needs directions. Before asking the wider Internet, your browser first checks if it already knows the address from memory. If not, it asks DNS servers for help. So it performs something called a DNS lookup. DNS works just like the phone book of the Internet. It takes a human-friendly request, like, and converts it into a machine-friendly address, like 192.0.2.1.
The journey of a packet.
Now that your browser knows the server's IP address, the real journey begins. Your device sends the request as data packets. The data is not sent as one big chunk. It is always broken into smaller units called packets before it travels across the Internet. These packets are sent using rules defined by Internet protocols like TCP/IP. We will explore Internet protocols further in Lesson 1.3. Each packet contains a piece of your actual data, the destination IP address, ordering information so the packets can be reassembled correctly at the end. Packets can take different paths through the network depending on traffic or how routers along the way decide to forward them. Each packet hops between routers, the postal sorting centers of the Internet, until they reach the destination server, where they are reassembled to reconstruct your original request.
The server responds.
When the packets reach the server gets to work. Web servers like Nginx or Apache receive the request and forward it to application code running behind them. They also use databases to store things like user accounts and course content. The server checks what you're asking for, maybe the home page, a video, or your dashboard, and gathers the required data, and then prepares the response to send back to you.
How your browser renders the web page.
The data that comes back from the server is not a ready-made web page. Your browser has to build it from three foundational technologies: HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These three ingredients work together to create every modern website and web app.
HTML, the structure.
First comes HTML. HTML tells the browser what should appear on the page: a heading, a paragraph, an image, a button, a link. If a web page were a house, HTML would be the walls, rooms, and layout, the structure.
CSS, the style.
Next comes CSS. CSS controls the design, the colors, fonts, spacing, layout, animations, theme. CSS makes the web page beautiful and readable. If HTML is the structure, CSS is the paint, furniture, interior design, and decor.
JavaScript, the behavior.
And finally, JavaScript. JavaScript adds interactivity. It makes the page come alive. Whenever a menu drops down, a button animates, a form validates your email, or a video player loads, that's JavaScript at work. If HTML is the structure and CSS is the decor, JavaScript is the electricity and plumbing. It makes things move, react, and respond.
Putting it all together.
Your browser takes these three layers, HTML for structure, CSS for style, and JavaScript for behavior, and assembles them into the final web page. This entire process happens every single time you load a website. Rendering. Start with blank white page. HTML skeleton appears. CSS paints it. JS animates it. Understanding this journey explains why websites are slow, why they break, and how modern software scales to millions of users.